What's up, guys? It's Zeus Shaker Views, and behind me is a 2000, I never say that, Honda Accord LX. And what's so special about the LX? It's luxury trim, I think. I don't know Honda trim. But what's cool about this car is this thing's a manual. That's right, I said, Dan, that's a manual. And then you may be saying, well, there's better cars that's manual. Hey, it's reliable, it's a Honda, and it's got VTEC. VTEC, baby! Alright, now I've already gone through a thorough history of the Honda Accord back last year, and I reviewed the 2017 Accord. Haven't seen that video, link in the section below. It isn't 4K, that was back before I had this fancy camera, so just bear with me. But I'll give you a little bit of a history of this generation. Back in 1997, Honda was getting beaten by Volkswagen and Subaru because they had these really cool hot hatches with all the SCIs that were fun, they were manual, they were fun to drive, and you're like, you know what we need to do? We need to make a car that's cool too. They did have the Type R of the Civic, but we're like, yeah, but we don't want to sell to America. America doesn't want that piece of garbage. So they're like, you know what? Let's sell the Honda Accord Type R, and that's kind of what they did. So, I'm not sure where they sold it. I believe we might have gotten it. Maybe. I know Japan got it. I believe Europe got it, but I'm not exactly sure. So let me know if there's Type R's in the US. I'm not sure. Alright. That's about it for the history. Just the cool thing about the Type R, you know. They did the same thing, trimmed together, everything. This isn't a Type R, so we'll review that car, we'll go more into it. So, let's take a walk around this thing. Check out this beautiful 2000 Accord. Now this car is pretty basic looking, but I do like the way it looks. I mean, I love these angular headlights. Obviously the newer generations are much more angular, especially that new one with all those little LEDs. But hey, this is 2000 and it looks pretty damn good for 2000. You got your hubcaps because hubcaps are better than nothing. Hey, love this little side panel. Funny thing, this side right here reminds me a lot of my 98 Corolla. Coincidence? I don't know. Nice thing. Oh, I love these taillights. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful. Love this design of what Honda did. This is pretty good for 2000. Now see how much trunk space you get. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. Man, look at this. I love the rear end of this car. Some newer cars have this kind of design. Pretty nice space. It's a Honda. You're gonna get lots of space. My 98 Corolla, you can fit like a person in this. You can fit, maybe not you, but I could probably fit in here. Pretty nice. Alright, let's get inside this beautiful car. Oh wait, you probably want to see the engine. Let's see. Where's the...
You're almost there. Little lever.
Oh.
There you go.
There. Huh?
It's got an oil change too,
Yeah.
so hopefully it's nice and clean for you.
Oh, absolutely. Look at that. This is a 1.8?
I have no idea. I thought it was a 2.
I believe it's a 2.0 because the Civic had a 1.8. This, I believe, is a 2.0, 2.3, I'm not sure, for inline four-cylinder with VTEC. Look at that. VTEC. VTEC. What's so special about VTEC? Well, it's kind of like a turbocharger, except without turbocharging, it gives you like a big boost when you go higher RPMs. It's very complicated how it works. I'll explain that later. Now, this makes about, I want to say 140 horsepower, 150. I don't know. I didn't look at specs. It's a nice car. Pretty nice. How do you... There we go. Alright guys, let's get inside this thing. Oh, I got some alarms going on. Sorry guys, that noise you've been hearing is the key inside the car. Now, get in here, bro. Alright, to start this car, this is a manual. So to start this car, put your foot on the clutch and the brake. See. Is it neutral?
Uh-huh.
Alright.
That's in second right now. Yeah, neutral all the way left and up is first.
Okay.
That looks right.
Yeah. right, get in here. Gotta do some talk about this cool car. Absolutely beautiful. Wow, this is pretty nice.
Uh-huh.
For a 2000, this is pretty. I didn't realize. I forget how big the Accord is. It's such a bigger car.
It's cozy.
Yeah, I like these. These seats are really comfortable. The one thing I hate about my Corolla is the seats are so uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
They have no lumbar support. This is like sitting on a couch.
Yep.
And then you got your nice stuff, power outlets, your Honda stuff. Do you know if you get an Acura, it says Acura?
Mm-hmm. See that? That's a cassette tape. That's vintage.
Can you?
This car survived the CD era.
Oh my God.
Isn't that cool?
Have you ever played CDs and cassettes in it and it haven't worked?
No, they've always worked.
Oh, nice.
I even have this.
Oh my God, he has a cassette tape.
The rare. Look at that. Plugs right into the iPhone. Cassette tape to the iPhone.
Oh my God, oh my God. So instead of having an aux cord, you have a cassette tape to your iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, try not to play too much because it's copyright.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, I love the interior of this car. Love that big center, this gauge, because that's what you mainly need.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some cars I drive. It's the opposite. The tachometer's in the middle, and the speedometer's in the little side. It's so tiny. I was driving the GTR, and I had no idea I was going 60 because the speedometer was so freaking tiny.
Yep. Since this is the EagleMobile, we'll play the Georgia Southern fight song, or maybe not. There we go.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Great audio system.
Okay. Oh, you gotta cut off. Nice. And then you can play with a cassette tape. That's so cool.
Yep.
And then you have your stuff here. Your multimedia display is what they call it. You got your power windows. This is not bad. I actually like this. You have your blank switches because, well, this is the base model, so you don't get much.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got some storage. Oh, look at a lot of storage in this thing. Wow, look at that entire cubby. That's cool.
Even has cup holders.
Oh my God, you have cup holders.
Uh-huh.
My 98 Corolla had the first time they introduced the cup holders. They were right here, and they didn't have any like holding. It's like seriously, you call this cup holders? This? Look, Honda got it right the first time. I mean, come on, Honda. Come on, Toyota. It's not that hard to make cup holders. And you can close it when you're not using it. That's pretty nice. You got a little pen holder, and I'm sure you can put your phone somewhere. Oh yeah, you put your phone.
Yep, I got just little.
Yeah, pretty nice. And you have your clock. I like the old generation when they put the clock up there because it's easier to see. My car over there, the clock's down low. I'm like, why? And this is your famous Honda lights. When you open the door or trunk, it lets you know what door it is. That's one thing I like about Hondas.
A little demo.
Yeah.
Driver's side door.
Yeah. It lets you know what. Unlike that car, whereas it just has a light. It's like figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
This car is it on?
Uh-huh.
It's so quiet.
Yep. Idles very softly.
Oh wow. Pretty nice. Alright guys, get the headband on and see what this thing's like to drive. Alright guys, try to drive this Honda Accord. So
you can scoot the chair up if you want a little bit.
Alright.
It's on the bottom, or it should be on your bottom right hand. Other side, right here. There's a little lever. It's good. Pull it up. There you go.
Alright.
Be easier for the clutch on here.
Yeah. I didn't know. I forget you're taller than me. Alright, so
I use the e-brake, so you gotta put that down, and you're rolling. And you need to be in first. Make sure you're in first. At third, I think. There you go. Rolling.
oh wow. I didn't realize it did it. Wow, that's very, very, very easy. Wow. That's easier than the Honda Civics I was driving. Wow.
Yeah, it's a real smooth clutch.
Wow, that's very easy to do. Wow, I'm impressed. I've driven some pretty easy clutches, but nothing that literally makes it almost impossible to stall it. And this is a 2000 car.
Yep.
Oh, that VTEC.
Uh-huh.
Does it need me in second?
Yep, usually I keep it in second. It can handle going pretty slow in second gear.
Alright, let's get around here.
As soon as you make the corner, if you straighten it out, then usually it likes to go in second about this speed.
Alright, we're second.
Straight down from first. Yep.
There we go. That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the first time I drove manual was a 2005 Mini Cooper S.
Ooh. Probably a touch of your clutch than what this has.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad though. I didn't realize how easy a clutch could be. I'm used to driving cars that literally you have to either give it gas or you have to be very, very, very slow with it.
Mm-hmm.
This, you don't have to be slow though. You can just let off and don't do it.
Yep.
So yeah, not bad. Not fast. It's not going to win any awards, but it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
First impression, it's a Honda Accord.
Yep.
But it's a manual, and I love the fact it's a manual. It's such a much better experience. So tell me about this. Well, how did you get it?
This car has been in my family. We bought this car new back in the year 2000.
Yeah, whoa!
And we've had it ever since then. So it was my mom's car around town, then it became my dad's, and then it became mine. And if you look at the mileage, you'll see I'm about just under
200,000 miles.
Just under 200,000. So I'll be crossing over in the next couple of weeks, probably over the 200,000 mark.
That's nice.
Done good.
And you can go, this car can go 100 more. You can go 300, 400.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's so good about Honda. You can drive them to the ground and they will still run.
Yep.
It's fun. I've driven lots of Hondas and I've always loved them. I'm getting a Honda Prelude, which is literally same generation as them, and they last forever as well, and they're little sport cars.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, this is a lot better than a lot of the cars I've driven. Now, obviously those cars are fast, but this is more user-friendly than the other cars I've driven. Mm-hmm. Now, let's see. Huh. You plan on selling it? I hope not.
Nope. I want to drive this. I will drive this until I can't drive it anymore. And then I will hope to probably trade it in and I don't know what I'll get after this. But so far, this thing should last me, hopefully, a couple more years.
Yeah. I highly recommend Honda. Honda or Toyota. These things can, it's just amazing. These things can last forever. You know why? They're made with, you know, nice parts and they're put together nice. You know what I mean?
This thing next year will be 20 years old.
Yeah.
And it's been an everyday car ever since we've gotten it.
Yeah. And these seats are so comfortable. Yesterday, well, what's the 2000? Aren't newer cars comfortable? Not really. They're kind of the opposite. I find that a lot of newer cars, they're not as comfortable as these. This feels like a couch. I don't know about you. It feels like, and if you drive like a luxury car of this era, they feel like you're driving you're sitting in a recliner, pretty much. These seats are so nice. I mean, I'm a big guy, and a lot of the seats that I drive, they're very huggy. I like that, but every now and then I just want to relax. You know what I mean?
Great for long trips. I've done a lot of long trips in this car. I drive it up to Chicago and back at least twice a year.
Oh wow!
Which is about, with traffic, is usually about a 14-hour drive that I have to make in this thing, and I drive it straight through. This car is great for it. It's a good highway car.
Not good in traffic. Probably.
It does very well in traffic, even though that's one of the downsides to having a stick shift. Is that the traffic can get a little tough. Usually worn out after you've been in a traffic jam, especially on the interstate.
Yeah, but not bad. It's a good car. The clutch is very easy. Some of the clutches I drive, they're very finicky. You have to be very careful with the way you're driving them. You can't just... Are we recording?
I think so.
Is it red flashing?
Yep.
Okay, making sure. So, you know, the one time I was driving my buddy's Yaris, he calls the Egg, and it wasn't recording. The entire time I was driving the car, it wasn't recording. It was just hilarious. But yeah, this is a very, very easy car.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about it.
So this is the car that I learned how to drive on back when I was 15.
Really?
So if I count back to that, it's about to be 28. So I've been driving it for what? I'm not good at math. 10, 11, 12, 13 years now I've been driving this thing.
And this is your first, was this your first car? Or?
Yep, first and only.
Man, that's just amazing.
So this car became mine when I was, I think, 18 or 19 years old.
Yeah.
This one, it became mine exclusively.
Oh yeah, it's a good car. I have my first car was a 98 Corolla, and I adored that car to death. But 2 years, when my dad got my new one, he sold it to somebody who didn't really take care of it and crashed the car, totaled it, and now it's done junkyard. Which is a shame, because those cars can go forever. I mean, it's insane how long these things can last. Man, that's amazing. One thing a lot of people do to this car is they lower it to the ground and they tune it and all kind of crazy stuff. Do you plan on doing any of that crazy stuff to it?
Nope, I haven't made any modifications to it. Probably won't. Just because it's so good, everything stock has been so good.
Yeah. I know some people who really, they slam it, they put big rims on it, they tune it, make it really cool. And mainly why they do it because of this thing right here. If it was an automatic, nobody would care. At least you're cool though, you have a manual. That's what's so cool about this car, it's a manual. You can't get many manuals nowadays, you know what I mean?
Yep, it's not common. It's too bad. I like driving manual a lot better.
Yeah, there's so much, you get so connected to the car. The only thing that's close to a manual is a dual clutch and an F1 transmission. And where do you get those kind of transmissions? Highly expensive cars. So, what's better? What do you rather have? An expensive car you can afford or a manual? I rather have the manual. And it was cool is even the new ones still can come in manual. That's Honda like saving the manual. They don't want to get rid of manuals. People will buy them. I met someone who had a bright red, brand new manual Honda Accord. Beautiful car. Yeah. And did you know they got rid of the 6-owner?
What's that?
They got rid of the 6-owner.
Did they?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
For efficiency, what they did was they turbocharged it. And it's much faster than the Camry with the V6. Some people still miss the 6-owner because it's a 6-owner. People just like 6-owners, but this full cylinder ain't bad. Obviously, it would be a little bit better with the 6-owner, but it's not bad for what it is. You know what I mean? And compared to a lot of other cars I've driven, it's so comfortable. You know what I mean? It's so relaxing. It's not a luxury car, but it's relaxing. These seats are probably the most comfortable seats I've been in a very, very long time. Not to say, the other cars I've driven are comfortable, but this is just relaxing. It's big. I absolutely adore this car. Would I buy this car? If I did, I would tune the heck out of it because that's just me. But yeah, it's a great car. I highly recommend this to all the kiddos out there who are just learning to drive. Get this car. Why? It's reliable. It's big. And people say, "Oh, I don't want a big car. I want a tiny little car." Well, to me, this car is big as in space. You have lots of space. I like my space. If you're a big guy like me, you want this kind of space. And you want an Accord. Why? Because it comes with a lot of features that the Civic just doesn't come with because it's a Civic. Like power windows and power auto lock and stuff like that. That stuff I didn't get in my 98 Corolla. Why? Because it was a Corolla. The Camry had it, not the Corolla. Well, think about it, the Corolla you could have gone in, but you had to get a high trim. This is the base model, you said, right? Yep. And it has all this cool stuff. And this car is probably worth about $4 grand, $5 grand.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, don't tell me you have the original window sticker.
Nope. Don't have that. Just looking at the manual, I can get some of the specs out of here.
It's a great car. I like the cornering of this car.
Yep, it does very well.
And this ain't no sport car. That's what I love about this. That's what I love about front wheel drive. They really tight corners. It's not gonna do what some really high performance cars can do, but this thing's insane. What I would do if I got this car is I would make it a Type R. I would put some wings on it, put some Type R badging, and I would make it a Type R. You know what I mean?
That one specs.
Yeah. I'll tell you that, but the only car that's more comfortable than this is an Acura TL, and that's because it's an Acura. That's the only thing that's more comfortable than this. It's an Acura.
VTEC.
We already knew that VTEC says it right on the hood.
But I'm looking for the size, and it doesn't say.
I think it's a Chile. I'll look it up. I'm pretty sure.
And you're right. I think it's maybe even a 2.4.
Yeah, because I know in the Civic they don't put the Civics. They put on 1.8, and this, you know, they don't put that. They put a bigger engine because it's a Civic Accord. My buddy has a 2007 Accord, and it's nice, and it has like a 2.4 4-cylinder. I mean, yeah, I like this car. I highly recommend it to anyone who wants just a cheap, reliable first car. So what do you like best about the car?
I like how dependable it is,
yeah.
And I love how smooth it rides. It's a very quiet ride, it's a smooth ride, and even with the little bumps and bruises that you get along the way from a high mileage car, it's very easy to maintain and upkeep.
Oh wow.
So if you keep up with the oil changes, this thing will stay in very good condition. So this thing still drives very nicely.
Yeah, it drives like a brand new car.
Now the only issue that I've come across with it is now that it's so high mileage and I'm getting close to 200,000 miles, and this is a common thing with the VTECs, with the Honda VTEC engines, is as they get the higher mileage, they start to burn oil pretty easily.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's the one thing with maintenance that I have to do a little extra work, is start checking the oil pressure every once in a while, making sure that the level is good.
Oh yeah.
Because if the oil pressure is not good, then that VTEC is going to malfunction.
Yeah.
This thing will start to buck a little bit when the revs get between 3,000 and 4,000, which lets me know that the oil pressure has gotten way too low. So.
My Corolla is almost 120,000 miles, and it drives like it's brand new. So think about these cars. You can drive them everywhere as long as possible. They won't stop running. There was on Top Gear, there was a special episode that they wanted to say how much can you push a Japanese car. They take a Toyota. They put it, you won't believe what they did with it. They put it through the ocean. They put it in intense heat. They put flamethrower around it. They put it on top of a building and it blew up the building. It still ran. Yep. It still ran and drive. How? It's because that's how built make these vehicles. They may be cheaply, some may be cheaply made. I mean, there's a lot of plastic in here, but it's nice. It may be plastic, but you can make something cheap look, well, nice. You know what I mean? Yep. That's why some brands don't get it, is you don't need to have expensive materials. You can just make it look nice. You know what I mean? This looks nicer than some of the cars I've driven, and some of the luxury cars. You know what I mean? Like the steering wheel.
It's time for a new cover for that steering wheel.
Yeah.
Though.
Oh yeah.
Cover's getting bad.
Yeah, it's one thing I don't like about this generation of cars is this. I don't know what they call this little bland stuff. I prefer the leather. You know what I mean? The newer ones have a much better one. Like my car has a leather steering wheel, but it's just better. But you know, this was back. This was 2000. What they made. I like the cruise control is right here.
Yep, very easy to control. Set it with that bottom button, and then to accelerate and deaccelerate, you just go up or down.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
The button's right in the middle.
That's one thing I love about these Hondas is this. Right, it's just so easy to press. My Corolla, it's a little stick and it's a little annoying. It's right here, but it's annoying to get started. You know what I mean? You're driving like this. You can't just go and going like 60 miles an hour, go like this. You can go right here and easily click it because when you're turning and stuff like that. Yep. It's just, that's what I like Honda about this generation. They thought more of the cars. I love Toyota, but some of the cars of that generation, they just didn't have much. They were good cars, it's just they didn't have much, you know what I mean? My old car had roll windows. You have no idea how annoying it is when you're trying to go through a drive-through.
And you roll your windows down.
Yeah. And that was 2000. I mean, this is a 2000 car, and this car comes standard with power windows. Now, I don't know if the Civic of this era had power windows. Do you know?
I have no idea. But what I do love about this car is how easy it's very user-friendly. The trend with newer cars is the center console. We've got everything is digital now. Right? And we have my family. We have a lot of Honda vehicles. We've had 4 Honda cars. We've had 2 CRVs, 1 Honda Odyssey and the Accord, plus 3 Honda motorcycles. We've had 2 Honda of their Shadow series. One is the Sabre, one is the
nice.
VLX.
Oh, nice.
So we've had 2 different models of their motorcycles, plus a Honda Elite motor scooter. So we're a Honda family.
Oh yeah.
My mom got recently she traded in her 2003 Honda Odyssey for a brand new 2018 Honda CRV.
Oh, those things are nice.
The touring edition.
Man, I got it
really nice, but the difference that I don't like about it is everything here is so simple. It's very easy to operate. But you get into the new CRV and they've got the digital screen and everything else. There's a million different buttons and a million controls on the steering wheel.
Well, there is a brand that actually has made screen simple. Peugeot. I get to sit, and if you know what Peugeot is, it's a French brand. They aren't selling in the US yet, but they're planning on to. They brought one of their sedans over for us to look at, and it had displays, but it was so simple. You had to go like so many menus just to get navigation. You want navigation? You press a button that has a navigation on it. You want air conditioning? You press air conditioning. You want car? You press the car button. It's so easy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like so many brands, they make it too complicated.
I love the simplicity of it.
It's so much
controls.
That's what I like about my car. It may not have too many screens, but it doesn't have any of the annoyance. It's pretty much this style still. It just has a little bit more technology like ABS and stuff like that, which I believe this car has as well. So really, and I like the look of it. It's not too aggressive, but not too bland. So I like about this car. To me, the Toyota Camry of this era, in my opinion, I would don't worry guys, don't be hating. I like the car, but to me it's too bland. You know what I mean? It's not very car enthusiast, which you might say, oh Jake, it's a Camry. But when you think Toyota and Camry and Honda have always made sporty, ever reliable cars. That's why they were sold so much. When they first came out with the Accord, people loved it because it had a lot of space. It was a nice car to drive. It was reliable and it saved gas mileage. It was fun to drive. That's what people loved it in the first place. And then when they introduced VTEC, it gave you a sportier drive. That's what people liked about it. So everyone wants all the Honda fans claim VTEC because VTEC is so much better. You know what Toyota has for VTEC? Dual VVTi. Why does that do? It's VTEC, but not sporty VTEC. It's just regular VTEC. When VTEC does is it gets better gas mileage while giving you a sportier feel. VVTi is just a better gas mileage by reducing how much fun you have. So what about VTEC? Of course, now it's called the Dream Chaser or something like that. They have I don't know why they call it real name. Just call it VTEC. We all know what it is. Just call it VTEC. So yeah. Any final words you'd like to say?
No, just been happy with this car. It's been great, continues to be great, and hoping it'll last me a couple more years till my next purchase.
You probably will. And when you get a new car, get a Honda Accord. Just get a Honda or Toyota, or you don't want to get a Mazda, mainly because some of them have problems. It depends on what year. If you get like an old Mazda, like a 98, you probably won't have any problems. But if you get like a 2010, 2005, they're going to have problems because they have Ford engines. You don't want one with a Ford engine because it's not as reliable as Mazda. Mazda got bought by Ford and then they separated. The new ones are incredibly reliable because, well, they're not using Ford engines, they're using their own engines. And then Nissan's pretty good. And then, but really, if you have the money, get a Honda. If you can afford a Honda, get a Honda. Don't cheap out on anything else, get a Honda. course, that's why these cars are worth so much, because they're so dependable. You can drive these cars to the brim and they'll still run. My Corolla was worth $7 grand when my dad got it for me. Yeah, 10-year-old car of that era, like a BMW of the same era, worth about $3 grand. You know why? Because of all those stuff that you have to fix. That's what I just love about Hondas. Some of my favorite things about it: love the clutch. This clutch is the easiest clutch I've ever driven, but that's just, you know, you get that.
Yep.
It's this kind of a car. And what's so cool about this, you could probably tune this and make this cool car.
Definitely.
I've seen people do crazy stuff to this type of car. Now, I think they made a hatchback version of this, do you know? Like a wagon.
I'm not sure if they ever did that with the Accord.
I know they made a wagon, a hatchback of the Civic, which that is a cool car. But yeah, I have to look it up. But I like this car. It's simple, it's nice, it's big, it's spacious. Would it be better with a 6-cylinder? Maybe, but really the 4-cylinder ain't bad. Nope. I see why they got rid of the 6-cylinder, because the 4-cylinder is just as good. 6-cylinder is a little, it's faster, but really with this kind of a car, you want good gas mileage. I wouldn't recommend a 4-cylinder in a big SUV, because you're not going to get good gas mileage, because it's a big SUV. This kind of car, it's not that much bigger, and they give you a bigger 4-cylinder. You're not getting a tiny 1.8, you're getting 2.3. And it's bigger, it's big enough to pull this car. And you can pull around lots of people in this car. I like this car. Thanks so much to the wonderful owner who let me drive his beautiful 2000 Honda Accord. It may probably be the lowest view video I've ever done, but I don't care. I love this. I don't care. I love this car.
Glad I could help, man.
No one's probably going to care, but I don't care. I love this car. It's a manual. It's a manual. What more could you want?
You can just leave it in neutral, pop the brake up, good to go.
Alright guys, here's the honest review. Absolutely, I love this car. This is a prime example of a perfect first car. It's just absolutely amazing. It's reliable, good gas mileage, it has modern technology. Doesn't have all the fancy features and all that jazz. But hey, it's got power windows, power doors. Not power doors. All lock. It's got cruise control. It's got air conditioning. What more could you want in the first car? This car for like $5 grand. Maybe not $5 grand, maybe 3 or 4. And you can fix it, and it's still going strong. Like 200,000 miles, and it's still going strong after so long. It's a good car, and it's a manual, so it makes it even better. It's a good first car, and I highly recommend to anyone who's just buying who needs a car for Q 15. If you wreck it, it's easy to fix. Don't have to worry about it. It may be old, but it's a good car for anyone who's first learning to drive. I wish I had this nice little car. It's much nicer than my 98 Corolla, and it's absolutely amazing. So I highly like this car. The only flaws to it, it's really, really old, so there's like barely any technology, but it has all the technology I want in my old car, that like power windows and moonroof and stuff like that, and this car has it. I have a friend who has a slightly newer one, and he pretty much has the same stuff, maybe some newer features, but you know, it's about the same car. It's an amazing car, and it's got VTEC. What more could you want? You got VTEC, you got a manual, and you got lots of space, and it's big, and it's comfortable. What more could you want? It's a good car. Yes, there are cars that are more fun, more sporter, but really, when you're buying a car that's for a 15-year-old who's been driving all along, going to school, get a Honda. Honda or Toyota. They're a good car, good reliable. They're easy to fix with the brake, and it's just a very, very good chemical, which everyone knows this, but it's one I highly recommend the Accord. It's a good car. I actually would get this over the 2017. I like all the 2017's features, but to me, it's too bland. You know what I mean? I like the look, but to me, it's not like what it used to. This old one, it has some character to it. It really did. It had a lot. It was fun to drive. It had a manual, and it was just a fun car. The new one, I would like to see what it's like. The new one's drive. I hope it's sporty. I hope it's like this one. But if it's not, well, that's just what Honda's going. So until we do the new one, this is the best Honda Accord to get right now. If you want for your first car. It's not like I don't recommend the 17. It's just there's a lot of technology on that. I like it, but you can easily break. Well, with Honda, it's gonna not break, but really, it's just not as easy to live with this 2000. And how that crazy technology, so it's easy to do simple stuff. It's just simplicity, and I just wish more brands would do that. I like screens, but make them more simple. What I like about Peugeot, like I said, is they know how to make. They have made cars with all of the technology, but they made them as simple, just simple, easy. Press a button, you get navigation. Press another button, get music button. It's just there is a way to make something to give technology we have more simple and easy to use. That's what we did with the air conditioner and everything. Before they're really hard to use, and we figured out how to make it simple and easy to use. Just a little lever or a knob. There's a way to do it, and I wish more brands would do it. And that concludes this honest review. But if this is your first video, be sure to subscribe to see more honest reviews. Don't worry, I got a little fun stuff besides this. And be sure to check out the channel for all of my honest reviews. And, well, I guess I'll see you guys later. See ya.